This week on What in the World is Going on official Palestinian TV, a young girl calls to liberate the land from the Jews. Oh boy, friends, that's the headline, so stay tuned. The Times of Israel reported that on January 1st, informing us that during a December 28th broadcast on Palestine TV of a ceremony held in honor of Fatah's 57th anniversary, a young girl at a primary school in Jenin read out a poem asking God to banish the Jews from the region. Friends, if you haven't seen that video clip yet, have a look.
وقد بيعت للغاصبين كبار من أعادينا يا ربي خذهم يا ربي خذهم إلى سقر واحشرهم مع العصاة أبي لهب ونجينا يا رب انصر بني الإسلام أرجعهم إلى الديار كما عاشوا ميامينا واطرد الوغد عن أرضي وحررها من اليهود ومن قتل النبيين وشكرا.
That's disgusting to say the least, and yet the world pressures Israel to make a peace with a people who will not recognize their right to exist. Friends, I hope that you can see it's not about borders. It's not about borders, but rather it's about existence. And the vast majority of the Palestinians are not interested in a two-state solution. No, friends, they want it all from the river to the sea, which means no Israel at all, period. Just watch this video clip of Palestinians in Israel being asked their thoughts on a two-state solution. Take a look.
شو بصير إذا في حدا فلسطيني أو وحدة فلسطينية حكت على الملأ إنه بدها سلام مع إسرائيل؟
بصير رفض من الشعب، احنا يعني الشعب هم
There would be rejection from the people.
يعني هم اللي احتلونا، ما بدنا معهم سلام.
Because they're the ones who occupied us. We do not want peace with them.
ما بزبط سلام معهم، لأن هم لازم
يطلعوا. Peace would not work with them. They have to leave us. This is our land.
And when he says the land, he's talking about the land of 48 or the land of 67?
أني أرض إلنا. أني أرض إلنا.
فلسطين.
فلسطين قصدك 48 76.
كله إلنا.
All of it. It's ours.
العرض مش إلنا 48 كله فلسطين ولا 67.
Because there's no 48 and 67. It's all Palestine. خلينا نفترض إنه أنت رئيس فلسطين. شو بيكون اقتراحك لحل النزاع؟ What's your suggestion to the as a solution for the conflict? My dear sister, we don't have a solution for this conflict. This is our land, this land is our land, and we do not agree to negotiate. And I guess you got scared and left. And the ideal solution would be for this land to come back to its original owners. We are the original owners, and the land is ours, and our ancestors, and these are occupiers who occupied us.
Okay, so but that's unlikely to happen.
هذا الشيء يعني مش أكيد كثير أو إنه
صعب
يعني خليني لك صعب بالضبط. أعطيني حل واقعي أكثر. Give me a more realistic solution.
Yes. فيش يعني نحكي لك إحنا كشعب فيش عندنا حل إنه نقدر نتعايش مع هالدولة. ما بنقدر نتعايش مع دولة.
As a people, we cannot coexist with Israel. These are our enemies. They occupied our land. They forced our people to move. First of all, as Palestinians, this land is ours.
مش مجال إنه يكون في حل للنزاع، إنه هاي أرض فلسطين، يعني أرض.
We don't want to solve the conflict. This land is ours. This is Palestine.
فيش مجال للوصول لحل مشترك
So there is no way to reach like a compromise or like a joint solution or peace. This is our land.
فالحل الوحيد إنهم يطلعوا من الأرض.
The only solution is for them to leave our country, our land.
So as you can see, friends, returning to pre-67 borders as the world is pressuring Israel to do will do nothing to bring peace to the region. Because in the Palestinians' mind, all of Israel belongs to them. Now look, I've said it many times here on this broadcast, friends, that there never was a long-lost land called Palestine that had its own unique people, culture, government, capital. No. The name Palestine came into being when the Roman Emperor Hadrian in 135 AD angrily against the Jewish people renamed the land of Israel Provincia Syria Palestina after Israel's chief enemies, the Philistines. After that, everyone living in the land was known as Palestinians, the Jewish people included. There was the Palestine Post. It was a Jewish newspaper, now called the Jerusalem Post. And then there was the Palestine Symphony Orchestra. It was made up of Jewish musicians, now called the Philharmonic Orchestra. And then there was the Palestinian Brigade, a World War II fighting brigade alongside the British, made up of Jewish soldiers. And so the Jewish people were also known as Palestinians. But yet today, friends, we are witnessing a revision of history being rewritten before our very eyes, and the world believes the lie. And what does that result in? Unions, universities, churches, the left media, the EU, the UN, political leaders, the Arab League, MSA, CARE, athletes, musicians, actors, etc., all speaking out against the Jewish state until it returns to pre-67 borders and a two-state solution. Well, what does God have to say about all of this, friends? I think very simple. In Leviticus 25:23, God says, "The land shall not be sold permanently, for the land is mine." And friends, woe unto the world that is pressuring Israel to divide up God's land that he gave to the Jewish people as an everlasting possession in order to bring about a so-called peace with a people who will never recognize Israel's right to exist. Woe to the world for that. And I'll tell you, friends, they are on a collision course with the God of this universe. I just think of what the prophet Joel wrote in chapter 3, verse 2, that one day God will gather all the nations towards the end of the 7-year tribulation period that is coming upon this planet one day soon. But God will gather all the nations at that time down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. Friends, that's in the Kidron Valley in Israel. And he is going to gather them there, and he's going to enter into judgment with those nations there for scattering his people and dividing his land. And so the Palestinians, friends, and the world, they really need to stop and rethink their actions because they are heading for judgment. And then we as Bible-believing Christians, well, we need to stand with Israel and the Jewish people and speak out against this satanic hatred every chance we get, friends. And you know, one way that you can do that is by supporting us here at the Friends of Israel Gospel Ministry, for we have been doing that very thing since 1938. And just like then, friends, we need your help. We need your help in this fight, prayerfully, financially, and then help us educate people by subscribing, liking, and sharing this weekly news broadcast with all your friends and family. Would you help us do that, friends? Well, I'll leave that between you and the Lord. But if you would like to give to this ministry today, simply, friends, just click on the donate link provided in the description below. And so with that, and until next time, this has been What in the World is Going On with the Friends of Israel Gospel Ministry. Have a good night, everyone.